One thing that strikes me when I'm here in Herrnhut is just the unlikely location this is to bless the nations. And yet, even as unlikely as it seems today, as you've seen from the pictures of this area, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Imagine 300 years ago. And yet, somehow, Count Zinzendorf and the Moravians had a passion for the nations and what God wanted to do among all peoples. And from here, they did all sorts of things, from selling themselves into slavery to get to the Georgian plantations, to going to Alaska, to Greenland, and even to other places like East Africa. Behind me is the prayer mountain here in Herrnhut, and they launched a prayer meeting that lasted 24/7 for 100 years. I believe that prayer was really linked then with what God's heart, His passion was for all nations, and we see that reflected in what they did. They went from here to all nations of the earth, as we know and as we've been studying. And that's not necessarily saying we need to now go and start a prayer meeting necessary with a goal of 100 years. When they started, that wasn't their goal. But I think what the real lesson is, are we connecting to what God's heart is? And His heart is reach all peoples, all nations. And you know what? Prayer is a great way in order to connect with God's heart and to catch that same passion. This is the grave of Count Nicholas Ludwig van Zinzendorf. And of course, he's not here anymore. But this is just a reminder of what one life can do. And I think it's a great reminder to think of, are people in a few hundred years going to be walking by our grave? Are they going to say, boy, I'm inspired to reach the nations because of what these people did? I mean, that's kind of what I think when I look at these graves. And I say, you know what, these people, they weren't heroes in the sense of they were famous or anything. But I think in God's kingdom and in His economy, they really did something quite remarkable here 300 years ago. And that's just kind of what we're remembering, and hopefully using that as an inspiration for what we can do in our lives. That's really, I think, what the important thing is. We look at these lives that have gone on before us. What are people going to say about us? What kind of legacy are we leaving? One day are people going to look and say, boy, they seem kind of unlikely, but look what they did. And one thing, again, that really strikes me here is that God doesn't use people that are really connected necessarily, have all their ducks in a row. No, He kind of uses people that are available. And I think that that's a great lesson for all of us, isn't it?